Hey there, boys, girls, the YouTube world. Today, the Duff Dog and I are gonna get muddy, but he's already muddy. Silly dog. Just got back from Oklahoma/Texas, and we got to get everything unloaded. Gotta get the wagon off the trailer, the Model A off the trailer, the pickup unpacked, a toolbox put together, stuff out of this chest. We gotta get the wagon unloaded. We gotta get merch on the shelves. We got everything to do. So let's start at the back here, eh, Duff? Look at him, just hunting away this morning. He's glad I'm back. I'm glad I'm back to hang out with you. But he doesn't seem to notice that I even... Oh, you do notice I exist. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Do you love this muddy, swampy weather? I tell you what, went from shorts and sandals to stocking caps. Get your fleece stocking cap at Mortske.com. Speaking of merch, we got some fresh merch. Go check that out. We got the Mortske and Duff logo, and then we got the ADD Coupe. Go check that out. And we got patches as well. Patches O'Houlihan.
You gotta grab it by its haunches and you gotta pump it into submission. That's the only way. The name's Patches O'Houlihan. I'm your new coach.
So, wagon Corso built. Check him out on Instagram and YouTube. He's probably on Facebook too, but we had him put a little tramp stamp on the wagon. Looks good. I always wanted to stripe this thing up. He was going to stripe up the front, but the weather did not cooperate, so next time we run into him, we'll get that striped up. I always wanted to lay some licks on this thing. Looks good. He does a great job. We got most of our old merch in there that we got to unload to put on the shelves so that we can get the store back up and running. The wagon runs okay-ish now, but I think I'm gonna abandon the points in the future and put either a Pertronix kit. Well, actually, I'm gonna drop a whole Pertronix system in there because the quality of points these days is terrible. So, first things first, let's get this off the trailer. I park in the low spot here so that our nice new Valance doesn't dig into the ground so bad. Low car lives. If only we had a 40-foot tilt bed trailer. I've noticed a lot of people tie their cars down with straps. Call me old school, call me crude, call me whatever. I'm a chain guy. They don't rub through. They just work. I don't know. I like chains. I'm gonna get this thing unchained quick. You know, I'm a fan of low cars, but that is one thing. Loading and unloading low cars and tying them down on a trailer. Not as nice as a jacked up or stock height rig. I try not to haul my cars too much, but we just had too much stuff to haul and I had to take merch down and wasn't sure of this car and we had to bring something back. I really do like heated seats and cruise control and steering wheel and navigation and air conditioning, all that good stuff. Let's see, we got to move out of the way just to drive this thing. 6-lug slot. I think this is, hopefully it's a, I never even measured. It's a hopefully a 15x7. There should be 5 of them. Hopefully we'll stick that on that 67 Chevy pickup that we're messing with. What else we got to get out of the way? Looks like we may have to move a couple of Eskimo Joe's boxes just to drive this thing off the trailer. Maybe. Somebody at Austin gave us this, the Driveway Reporter. I think his grandparents bought that 65, I don't know if it's a Biscayne or Bel Air, 4-door new. He's actually in Texas, but there's snow on this car. Shout out to him for stopping by and saying hi. All right, let's see if this thing will start up. There might be just enough room to squeeze my knuckles by that steering wheel. And we'll run this thing in the shop. And all this has got to go in the merch room. No, Swamp Donkey. You are not riding in my car. You're too muddy. And there's no room for you. You want to guide me off the trailer? Don't scratch up my Valance? Yeah, you're still no help. Maybe wet and muddy here, but at least we don't have any tornadoes. We just missed a bunch of those in Nebraska, in Iowa, and Oklahoma. I'd gladly trade the snow for that stuff any day. I think we'll wait till Chin gets here and we can empty that anytime in the dark, in the rain, in the snow, in a tornado. And let's get this stuff. You're a psycho. So next we got my cooler, which has a bunch of t-shirts that are going to become rags. We can't discuss those because of copyright infringement laws, thingers. I think there's some in here too. I'll just take a quick, hey, you know, come on. Yep, t-shirts. So this was on the back of Puddin's Model A. Model A two-door sedans don't have a trunk from the factory, so they put this little rack on the back, which some of the screws fell out, and we just about lost that piece of wood. I don't really care for those things. My Model A coupe's got one on the back too. Anyway, I'm sure somebody paid big bucks for this thing. If somebody wants it, I would probably make a reasonable deal on it, but you'd have to come get it because I am not interested in shipping it. Took my cooler with, forgot it, didn't use it, whatever. So filled it full of t-shirts. These are 5 on 5.5 slots. So big Ford bolt pattern. I think they're 15x8s, 275/60 BF goodies. Old truck guy had these. I was able to purchase them off him. He tried giving them to me. I said, no, those are worth money. So I gave him all the cash I had in my pocket. So shout out to him for hooking us up with those. There's the floor that Puddin cut out of that Model A that he ruined. And then the stock wood floorboards, the steering column, the exhaust, the bumper. So I think what I need to do is find a pickup bed that's empty. Oh, that flatbed would work so good, but there's an oil tote on the back. And throw all this stuff in a pickup bed and then bring the pickup to wherever all these things need to go. Ooh, the side-by-side. Let's go get that thing. That thing broken again or what?
Yeah.
Good thing winter's almost over, huh?
Just good about think that, yeah.
Gonna warm up next week, he says. Where's the door clicker? No door clicker. All right, I'm taking the golf cart outside, so we're gonna need to open the door. I guess we haven't talked about the old golf cart much. It's a Bobcat UV34. I think it's a 2022 model. Bobcat employees get a pretty sweet discount on Bobcat equipment, hence you'll notice the stuff around here. So right before I left there, I purchased this and my telehandler. It's basically a 2021 Polaris. I think it's a 900,000. I don't know. Anyway, I purchased this thing because I knew what the prices were doing. I could buy it and make money on it. So I was just going to buy it and sell it. And it's too handy, so I haven't let it go. And it was 0% financing. So it's free money if you're responsible, right, Duff? Yeah. One of the things I've done, these things stock go like 35 mile an hour. So I had the computer tuned so that it'll touch 70, but I would say it's a 60, 65 machine. I had the windows tinted. We put a rear view mirror on it, and then put a little gun rack in there. That's about it. Duff loves riding this thing. As you can see, light gray seats, not a good color combination, but works great from hauling parts around the yard or quick trips to town, especially when it's stormy or the roads are salty. The bed does dump, it's manual. I think the only options you can get from Bobcat or Polaris on these things are gas engine or diesel, regular cab, crew cab, enclosed cab, or open ROPS. So I opted for gas engine because I don't need a diesel, and regular cab because Duff and I don't have any friends, and enclosed cab with heat. You can't get AC, you can only get heat because it gets cold here. And the stickers on it are absolute garbage. We've blown quite a few of them off, unfortunately, but works good for this type of stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is all the stuff that's going in the shop, or not all the stuff, we're going to start with the stuff that's going in the shop that I can think of. So this will go in there, we'll get all the stuff out of this box. Inside, like I said, t-shirts, we'll give those to DB. DB's the high school kid that comes and helps out when he can. He can cut up these shirts into shop rags because I'm cheap and I really like t-shirts for shop rags better than like blue towels or whatever else. And these ones was free. These wheels are gonna go in the wheel storage. I don't really have a home for them right now. I just really like slots, as you'll see. Trucker Bob is our battery sponsor down there in Oklahoma. You too can be a sponsor of a battery at Mortsky.com. Trucker Bob is dead, so we got to take that to the shop and charge it up. Trucker Bob himself is not dead, his battery is. These 15x7s, hopefully gonna go on a project so they can go in the pickup. All the rest of this stuff is probably gonna go into storage. So let's get the stuff out of the bed of the pickup. Look at all these slots. I think those are 15x6 or 7, 5 on 5.5. So big Ford or early Ford. Don't have a home for those. So they're just going into the someday pile. 32 Ford Firewall came from the swap meet. That'll go in the someday pile or maybe hang on the wall. Another set of 6 lug slots. Maybe those are the ones we'll put on that pickup. Huh. I thought I bought some 5 lug slots. Anyway, we're gonna get these slots out and we're gonna put them in the shop. And then there's the rest of those 15x7 loose slots. I think got a whole pickup full of slots. 4, 9, 11, 13 slots I picked up down there. Yeah, slots are cool though. All right, I'm gonna do those small ones first because I'm lazy. Buddy Wally's looking for some headlight trim rings for his 67 to 72 GMC. So we picked up a set of those at the Pate swap meet. So we'll get those to him. All right, I'm gonna run this back around, unload them in the shop, come back for some more. All right, I think we'll just grab a load of slots out of here. This 32 Firewall, I have the 32 4-door sedan and my Firewall is a little bit chewy. This one's pretty nice. I actually picked up 2 of these. Slick got the other one. I sent him this one. I said, it's $500 OBO. He says, that's a steal, grab it. So I grabbed it. The other one that he got is a 4-cylinder and was pretty much mint. This is a V8 car. 4 cylinders have a little bump out around the steering box, and then they got some holes for like the engine isolator at the back. This one's got a couple extra holes, must have been for a heater, and then they welded something to it, so we'll have to patch those up if we ever get to that car. But beauty of these things is they fit everything. They fit pickups, they fit sedans, coupes, roadsters, all that stuff. I think it's like the only Firewall that pretty much unbolts that Fords have. 33, 34s don't unbolt. Model A's will kind of unbolt, I guess, if you try hard enough. But anyway, these things like to crack out around where the steering box goes and then around the feet here, and they get holes cut in them for various things. But yeah, these things are pretty good property. They are reproducing them, the V8 ones, but not the 4-cylinder ones. So if you really needed a 4-cylinder one, you got to find an original. Anywho, let's get this stuff out of here. One more thing on the slots. These are as cast, and I think, or maybe those have been polished, but anyway, those aren't as good looking. And these are polished. Those are real good looking. I kind of prefer the as cast because they're easier to maintain. These look good when they're cleaned up, but then you got to maintain them. And we're not about maintenance around here. Other thing to look for on these is the diameter. I prefer 15s. There's not a lot of tire options for 14s. They do make some 16s as well. And then lug pattern, lug pattern and offset and width. I like 7s and 8s, but 4s are really cool and big money. I think they even make like a 3.5. 6s, not so much, kind of an in-between, not too skinny, not too wide. And then they make all the way up to, man, they probably make like 12s and 14s, but I kind of like stick with 8s. I do have a couple sets of 10s, but they're really hard to fit underneath anything unless you got a 72 Nova that's jacked to the moon with air shocks, and that really ain't my jam. And then look where the wheels or the lug nuts go. There's a unilug pattern, which I kind of try to avoid unless they're super cheap, because I just don't like unilugs. And then make sure they've never been ran loose before, whether they're unilug or not. So a couple things to look for. And then I think they make them with a aluminum center and a steel hoop. I usually avoid those just because I've heard horror stories, and I don't like horror stories. Model A tow board, we'll stash that away for a rainy day. Oh, they're so much heavier when they got wheels and tires all together. Steering column seal piece that Puddin took off his restored Model A. I picked him up this sign only because it says luxury homes from the 80s. And in the Model A video where him and I got that Model A running, Hot Rod comes out and looks at that Model A and goes, "Is this car from the 80s?" So it kind of made me laugh, but I forgot to leave that sign with him. We'll have to get it to him on the next trip. Picked up a full set of door hinges for a 53 to 56 Ford F100 that I need. And then a set of Hurst style engine mounts for a Olds Rocket to early Ford style mounts. I'm looking for a set of those so I can put an Olds Rocket in an early Ford or custom application. I also picked up a set of door handles for a 67 to 72 Chevy pickup that I needed. You can see it's got this little pot metal tabs right here, and they get bent and blown out and pushes through. These aren't in great shape, but they'll do. 20 bucks a set. The aftermarket stuff just scares me. Well, Puddin was going to do a run of signs. He didn't have a good way to ship them, so he abandoned that project, but he was nice enough to give me one of them, so we'll hang that up. And then Okie Iron is who I got those Hurst Olds mounts from. Hurst Olds mount. They had this, you can check him out on Instagram, Okie, O-K-I-E Iron on Instagram. And I had this Edelbrock OL 396 3-deuce intake. We'll throw that on the shelf as well for a rainy day. Oldsmobile project. Those rockets are the coolest. All right, let's go unload this load. All right, those 15 by 8, 5 on 5.5 polish slots are gonna go in my stash. I wish those front ones were polished. I just like them when they match, so maybe we'll see if DB can polish them. And I should measure these centers to see if I can get some center caps going. I don't hate them without centers, but I think they look better. There's centers that come through this way, and there's centers that snap in. Most of them drop through, but those are snap-in style. And there's ET makes them, Halibrand, American. There's a US Mags. There's a ton of companies that make them, so they all got slightly different variations. And then there's different variations on the lug nuts. Some are conical, some use the big flat washer like these. Obviously some are unilugs, but yeah. Then we're gonna throw all these Model A parts in cold storage. Hopefully someday we'll drop a body on this. I got bodies. I got 1, 2, 3 coupes there. There's a sedan over there. I got a really nice sedan in town that kind of runs and overheats, so maybe this would be a good way to solve a overheating issue. I got a Roadster in town. I got another coupe in town. Neither of those run, so I made a trade with Puddin. I got a 36 International cab, spare one. So he kind of wanted to do a C-Series International, 34 to 36. 36 had the steel doors, they're the good ones. I had a spare one of those. I'm probably never going to get to building the one that I have, so I took my spare one, traded him for this. I'm probably never going to get to building this, but he wanted it out of his way. I thought, I got a bunch of Model A's, so hopefully we'll make something of it. No guarantees. But it's going to just sit outside, or it's going to have to sit inside because it's so nice, you know, museum restoration quality. So I'll get sick of looking at it. So I'll either sell it or hopefully do something with it. Next on the list is this cool old Lincoln toolbox. This thing's about 8 feet 6 inches wide because that's how wide my trailer is. It touches both ends. That's the top. These are 2 sides. That's the middle. And then there's a back piece there too. And this thing's gonna go in my house garage for now because we don't have room for it in the shop. So White Lightning was in the house garage while I was gone, so we'll throw it in the back of Lightning. Lowered trucks, easier to load. I don't know if I should chase Mojo down to help or if I can figure this out, but we got to get this out of the way before we get this A chassis off. These toolboxes are super cool. One of my buddies found it on a gas and oil Facebook site. The guy said he was in Oklahoma. He held on to it for us, dropped it off at Puddin's. So special thanks to my buddy Fritzy for finding it, to Puddin for unloading it, and whoever it was, the guy that dropped it off. I'd only seen one of these in real life before, and then saw one in Big Money Bobby's garage, Slick's buddies down in Oklahoma. And then we saw one at D&H Classics that wasn't for sale out in the grass. And then there's one on Facebook Marketplace down there for sale too for $3,000, and he had a photo of somebody else's. So yeah, these things ain't cheap, but they're cool. Big Money Bobby's was an Alamite. This is a Lincoln. They're both pretty cool. The Alamite's got a cool stainless band across the top. These got the waterfalls going down. So maybe, hopefully, I'll have both someday. If you got one, and you want to sell it or know one, hit us up, mortskirepair@gmail.com. Those old tools are the coolest tools. You ruin that pickup. You can't haul anything with it. Lower pickups are the best for hauling stuff. Especially if you're a short, fat guy like me. Heavy end oxer, just like me. I think I got a chiropractor appointment on Thursday. Is that going to stay there and not fall out? And there you go. I can go in the garage and I think I'm going to get a bunch of new hardware and put that thing back together. I'm not going to restore it because I'll just scratch it up anyway. I want to use it. Maybe we'll make a video putting that together. Oh, I am missing the little Lincoln emblem there. Be cool to find one of those. Or somebody to reproduce one for us. 3D print it. Maybe we'll get a hold of Wes, he can make one. Alright. Glad they didn't cut the parking brake on this thing. Because that's what's holding it. Let's get this unloaded. And then the trailer can get unhooked. And the pickup emptied. I got the Belches today. The Welches Belches. I don't have a steering wheel, so I just gotta kind of push the wheels to steer. We got brakes, that's a plus. Great success!
A great success!
Starting to rain pretty good. I'm gonna put White Lightning in the garage and we'll go dolly down this trailer and get the pickup unloaded. Put that thing back inside. Oh, I kind of want like a Ford Raptor with like 340,000 miles on it for like $10,000. I want a Raptor for like Ford Ranger prices, right, Duff? Although Rangers are probably getting expensive too. Everything's stupid expensive now. Point is, I'm not paying $50,000 for a Ranger. This thing still sounds like crap. I'm not paying $50,000 for a Raptor. And I don't want one with a V6. So I'm picky. I kind of want a crew cab, but I would definitely rock the extended cab. Faux show. Like, who does that, Ford? Let's build a really cool super truck with a big fun V8 in it, and then not have a back seat so you can haul all your buddies around and jump approaches and railroad tracks and whatnot. Silly. Speaking of silly, that dog is a mess. Mud, water, you name it. He loves it. I do love this 40-foot Lamar. I'll tell you what, cranking them jacks up and down is a lot of work for a fat boy like me. Should get one with hydraulic jacks. They're such a pain to line up to. Two-person job. All right, get this thing unhooked and roll the tonneau cover up to keep the water out of my bed. There's the rain's coming down. And get this in the wagon unloaded, and we are back to normal operating conditions. All right, got the wagon emptied. I don't have these shirts available. Puddin used my likeness, and we sold these at the Roundup, but he does have them available on his website, so go check it out, puddinsfabshop.com. I do have a handful of these banners, I guess, flyers, if you will. And if you want one, I will sign it. I don't have a good way to ship it, other than if you buy a banner. So if you purchase a banner for the next 2 weeks, which is these dates right here, I will sign one of those and roll it up with your banner. I can't throw them in with a t-shirt because I would have to fold it in half and it would be wrinkled and kinked and whatever. If you do purchase a t-shirt and want one of these, You can leave a note in the Shopify, and I will sign it and send it to you, but I will have to fold it in half. So it's gonna have a crease in it, which I don't really care for, but that's the only product we really have that we can safely ship it, is with a banner. And I got a bunch of these. I'll throw it in if you want one. So banners, we got the Low Life banner, the Dew banner, and the Crown banner. I think all are in stock currently. So if you buy one of those for the next 2 weeks, those dates listed previously, I'll send you the Rootin' Tootin' Roundup flyer signed. And get one of those shirts at puddensfabshop.com. Pretty sweet. Got my big tall hat on. He's got his bang bang gun. Good stuff. Then we got the new merchandise. This is the Mortsky and Duff shirt. The M&D we're calling it. Pretty cool. That's on the back. And then it's got the Mortsky Repair on the front. And then we got the ADD coupe. A little 33-34 3-window hard chop Bonneville salt flat. High boy with the Mortsky logo on the front. I did sneak over to the swap meet at the Roundup. Got these Cadillac valve covers. They fit like 331, 365, 390s. These valve covers are freaking awesome. Glad I found those. Someday I'm going to have a 33, 34 like that with a Cadillac in it, or something with a Cadillac, and those will go on it. I got a 32 Ford two-door sedan like I talked about earlier. These were at the Roundup. Window garnishings in old chrome. Super cool. I got a pretty good deal on those, and my car needs them. Subscriber, viewer, whatever, they had a booth at Lone Star Roundup. They had this there. I need this for Rex, and they said just take it. They also had these 44 Deluxe hubcaps for $80, so I bought those. And then they had these, I think they're 40 Ford hubs, maybe they're F1, not sure. They're the same but different. And they said, you want them, we'll deliver them to your car. So they brought us those. So shout out to the subscribers who got all that stuff from it that we're swapping there. My cousin picked up this flywheel for his 401 nail. Had to put a 4-speed behind that. Had to buy a carburetor for this thing that I didn't need. So I got a spare 1406 Edelbrock on the shelf that came from downtown Fort Worth. Somebody brought us this burnout sign. So thanks to everybody who brought stuff. And then somebody, I didn't even get to talk to him. Well, I didn't know that he brought this, but I guess he took a picture with me and talked to me. But brought a bunch of carb kits and glass fuel bowls. Hopefully those all made the ride home without, ooh, Model T hubcap. I didn't even get to see this guy or this stuff or talk about it. So yeah, we'll use all that stuff. Mojo Coffee. Yeah. I love stuff like that we can use. And then somebody else brought us a bunch of t-shirts from Fort Sam, Houston. Freedom isn't free decal. And they brought some treats for the Duffmeister. Where's he at? He's hiding. So yeah, all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, go check out that merch on Puddin's site. Get yourself a flyer with a banner and get yourself those new shirts that we just got in stock. And I'm gonna put all this stuff away. Hope Puddin had this cool picture made up. That was the day we got the Someday Model A running, me and Bill and Slick. A little hot rod down there. And that goon driving. So we'll find a spot to hang that up. It's got it on some type of, I don't know, hard plastic. Cool. That was a good day. Now we got a folding table and a bunch of Eskimo Joe's merch left. So I think that's gonna wrap up this here. What do you think, Swamp Donkey? Yeah, we'll get the Model A put away. I'll probably put that in a storage facility of sorts, get her out of the weather, and we'll have to comment down below what we should do with that. Thinking maybe a Roadster or a coupe. I got one of each. The coupe's got interior. Roadster does not. So yeah, it's kind of a day in the life of, this is all the stuff we had to do when we got back from the Texas-Oklahoma trip. Needed to be done. And I'm sure some of you wanted to see what we picked up when we were down there at the Pate swap meet and down at Puddin's. So we got a whole bunch of slots, some cool Oldsmobile parts, 32 Ford Firewall, Model A, that Lincoln toolbox. Who knows, maybe we'll do a video putting that together. Maybe it'll be on this video. I don't know. Thank you very much for watching. Check out other videos. Check out the merch, mortsky.com. Get your stocking caps and your sweatshirts before those seasons are over. And then check out the new merch that we're unloading right now. Get her all at mortsky.com. Remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. It's so fun unloading afterwards in the rain. All right, Man, you are a lot of help. Did you miss me? Do I smell like Theo? Yeah.